Hello, everyone. We're in my home office, which just so happens to be my basement. And I wanted to sit down and talk with you guys about the easiest business that you can start with pretty much zero money out of pocket. Now, it is going to be a lot of hard work, but I have made hundreds of thousands of dollars in this particular business model over the last few years. So let's get into it. Now, the business model that I am talking about is called print on demand. You'll often see this online called POD, P-O-D. It simply stands for print on demand. Now, if you have been in this business, or maybe you've just even heard about it through multiple YouTube videos, blog posts, what have you, you're probably wondering either what it is or, oh, I've heard about that. I've tried out Teespring. I put up some different designs on a website or a marketplace, and I made no money, and it was completely a waste of time. So I'm going to tell you what is a little bit different, how you guys can get started and set you off on the right path in order to actually earn either some side income or, in a lot of cases, with a lot of my friends and people I've met through the years, have turned this specific business model into a full-time income. So the first thing you are going to want to do is understand that print on demand means that all you physically need to do is have a computer or a smartphone to start this business. If you're watching this video right now, chances are you already have one of these two things. Okay, so that's going to be $0 out of cost, out of pocket, and you can get started. Now, the second thing you're going to need, again, this goes right along the same messaging as a computer or a phone, you're going to need an internet connection. Now, if you don't have an internet connection at home, you can go to Starbucks or McDonald's. It might be a little bit hard to do during a quarantine, but there are many places you can get free Wi-Fi. If you haven't gone to your local library, now might be the time to look into that. So now you have an internet connection and you have a phone or a computer. You are all good to go. There's literally no more money that you need to spend, so we are at a big fat zero. Now, in order to start a print-on-demand business, you need to find customers, right? Who are you going to be selling these products to? You are going to be selling these products to people through the internet. Now, let's back up real quick and talk about what print-on-demand means. It means exactly what you think it might stand for, print on demand. It means that if you sell a product through a website, through a provider, it is going to be printed then and only then. That means that there's not going to be any stock in a warehouse. You're not going to have to pay for a design or pay for a blank shirt or pay for a blank hoodie ahead of time. So there's $0 out of your pocket before you even get started. So what that's going to allow you to do is create a design, create a funny phrase. And what I like to tell people is if they can type or, drag and drop, you can create these designs, okay? So what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and sign up for a few websites. Now, there's a couple I recommend. The first is going to be Merch by Amazon. So you can just Google Merch by Amazon. The second is going to be Redbubble. The third is going to be TeePublic, and the fourth is going to be Spreadshirt. Okay, so those are going to be the four that I recommend you get started with. Now, there's a bunch of others. You've probably heard of Teespring. You've probably heard of Zazzle. If not, these are all different marketplaces that people go to buy specific products. So what these are going to allow you to do is cut out the biggest aspect of any business, and that's finding customers, okay? Because if you start a typical brick and mortar business or a software company, you're going to need to go find people to sell your product to, right? In terms of Amazon or Redbubble, any of these marketplaces, they already have millions of people coming to their website and purchasing things each day. So what we're going to do is start a business that leverages their traffic, their customers, and we're going to sell to them. Okay, so sign up for Merch by Amazon, Redbubble, TeePublic, and Spreadshirt, and you'll have 4 platforms that are really, really easy to go, okay? Now, once you've done that, you're going to need some way of creating these designs. Now, you've all seen intricate t-shirt designs. You've all seen these really special graphic art. And let me tell you, I'm not a graphic artist. Okay, and I've managed to sell hundreds of thousands of dollars of of product to people across the internet. So that means that you do not need to be a graphic artist. We've all seen the people walking around with a funny phrase on their t-shirt. We've all seen people walking around with, one word, maybe two words. But I actually have a shirt that all it says is, have you tried trying? Okay, that's what I wear to the gym a lot of the times, and it gets comments every single time I wear that shirt out into public. And all it is 4 words, have you tried trying? With a question mark at the end. It gets a lot of reactions. So that is one example of something you could create that would be very, very, very easy to sell. Now, in order to create these designs, you're going to need a design program, okay? Now, the first thing you're going to do is once you get inside of these marketplaces, they're going to have templates for you. They're going to tell you what dimensions things need to be designed at. So Merch by Amazon, for an example, is 4,500 by 5,400 pixels. Means it is 4,500 pixels across, 5,400 pixels down. Okay, that's the standard t-shirt design. Now, if you do not have a program like Photoshop on your computer, which you don't because it costs, $20 and up per month, I believe $20 is the student discount. Photoshop is very complicated. I can still barely use it. Okay, so there's many other programs out there that are either fairly cheap or completely free. Okay, so if you have a normal computer, you could open up Microsoft Paint. If you have, access to an internet connection, you can use something like Canva or the Merchant Former Designer. That one is paid. Canva does have a few things in place where you can only use so many of the graphics that are involved. But really simply put, all you need to do is have something that you can output a design in a certain size with text on it, okay? That's all you're going to need. Now, once you have created some products or some designs, remember, these are not like hand sketched, you spent 4 hours on them. They are literally just designs with text on them that you find funny. Now, side note, before we move on, you need to make sure that these text-based sayings, the things that you find funny, are not intellectual property of other people or companies. So what do I mean by that? Let's say you're watching a funny movie. Let's say you're watching The Lord of the Rings or some sort of work of art. Okay, it doesn't have to be graphic art. It could be a movie. It could be a song. Maybe you've listened to some song lyrics in the car. You did not write those. You did not come up with them. They are not popular because of you. So you need to make sure that whatever you put on a design with print on demand, wherever you put it across the internet, that it is not related to someone else's intellectual property. That's the one thing that you have to be completely solid on before you start this business. That's the one downfall that I see a lot of people doing. The Beatles have a song, Hard Day's Night. Maybe they put that on a shirt and it starts selling really well, and all of a sudden these platforms ban them. Well, they ban them because the only reason it's selling is based on the intellectual property of the Beatles, right? So that is something you want to make sure that you're looking out for. In the example of have you tried trying, that's not part of a song, it's not part of a movie, it's just a funny phrase that gets a kick out of people. So after you are done creating a few of these designs, you've gone ahead, you've signed up for Merch by Amazon, you have a Redbubble account. The next step, fairly straightforward, you need to get them online. Okay, so what this means is that you're going to take that file, typically this is going to be a PNG file, and you're going to upload it to these platforms. Now, in order to upload it to the platforms, you can literally just drag and drop it. But what it comes down to is you're going to have to do a few things. One, you'll have to have the file. You already have that. But second, you're going to have to give it a title and maybe some tags. So whatever title that you put on for the shirts in order to start this business, fairly straightforward. If you are a customer looking for this specific design, this specific t-shirt, what would you as a customer enter into Amazon? Okay, what would you as a customer enter into Redbubble? Just put the title down as whatever is on your shirt. So in the example of have you tried trying, it would just be have you tried trying t-shirt. Okay, that's it. Fairly straightforward. Maybe you put funny have you tried trying. What would a customer search for in order to get to that product? Okay, now once you figure that out, the rest of it is fairly simple. You're going to have to put in maybe some tags or maybe some sentences about the shirt. In order to do this, again, think like a customer. In order to sell products to people, in order to be in this marketing business or start a business in general, you're going to need to think like a customer. What do they want and what are they searching for so that we can provide that as a seller? Now, in order to enter in some keywords, just think about what they would search for, enter in those keywords or enter in those tags, and publish your product. So once your product is published on these platforms, it is for sale on the internet. Okay, the internet is pretty much endless. There are millions and millions and millions of people on these different platforms, including Amazon. So the reason I want to do this video about starting a print on demand business is that with print on demand, you don't have to do any of the work and you can use their customers. Amazon's already gone out of their way and figured out how to have, billions in sales. So customers are coming in the door left and right and buying products. They're already there. So all we have to do is take a product, create the product, and put it in front of them. And then they buy it and then you get paid. Okay, so this is a great way of not only leveraging Amazon or Redbubble or any of these platforms, leveraging their traffic, you also leverage your time. Okay, that is the most important part of starting any business, is leveraging your time. It means your product is available for sale and you're going to make money while you're sleeping. You're going to make money while you're out on a bike ride, while you're at the gym, while you're doing anything. That design is going to be working for you, being put in front of other people. Now, is this a get-rich-quick scheme? No. Are you going to be retiring tomorrow based on your one t-shirt design? No. Okay? When it comes to the print-on-demand business, you have to understand that the typical 80-20 rule applies. Okay? So 20% of the effort is going to produce 80% of the results. Okay, this means you're going to need more than one design, but everyone starts off at the same place, okay, 0, and once you started off at 0, you can grow from there. Now, finally, once you start making some sales, you're going to notice that one, you're making money, okay, you're getting paid what's called a royalty. Now, royalties are actually taxed at a lower percent than normal income, so that is a win. 2, you're making money while not actively working on your business. You're leveraging your time. You're leveraging customers. So that's a win. But number 3, and this is my favorite aspect of the print-on-demand business, you are not doing any of the grunt work. Okay, so what do I mean by that? If someone buys your product and you're a typical print shop or you're a typical startup, once they buy the product, like, now your real work begins. You have to source the blanks. You have to go out there and, print the design, which means you're going to need a very, very expensive printer, thousands of dollars. You don't need that with print on demand. Now, once you've actually printed this t-shirt, you have to print out some labels. So you need a computer and a label maker, and you slap it on there. You're going to need some stuff probably from UPS or FedEx in order to send that product to the customer. And wait, you also have to pay for shipping. Okay, now let's say that all goes great and the customer gets their product and you've made their money, and let's say the customer is not happy. Well, what happens after that if you're a typical print shop? You sit back and you start getting angry emails. Maybe you get some phone calls. Maybe the design was printed a little bit crooked. So not only are you out a bunch of time because you're dealing with this customer, chances are what you're going to have to do is receive the item back, which you have no use for, right? After you've received the item back, more than likely you're going to have to print them another shirt. So you have to go through the whole process of sourcing a blank, printing the product, printing the shipping label, shipping the product. And after that, chances are you've made $0 and you're out a lot of time. With the print-on-demand model, you sell the product on a marketplace, Amazon, for example, and Amazon does everything. That's the end of the transaction for you. You get paid a royalty. A lot of these marketplaces, you will get paid a royalty into your pocket, and they will do the printing. They will do the shipping. They will talk to the customers and deal with any refunds, or if anything is wrong, they will do all the work for you and simply pay you to actually put that design up and sell it to their customers. Okay, so this is probably the easiest business that you can start with $0. Now, when I say that it's easy, I don't mean that you're going to be putting up a design and retiring. Like I said, it's easy in the fact that there is much, much less to do. There's almost $0 that you have to put out of your pocket to start this business. All that's required is a little bit of your time and creativity. And then if you want to grow from there, you can start looking into options with advertising. So maybe going door to door, maybe doing the in-person thing, selling to businesses. If that's not your jam, maybe running ads. So you can run ads on Facebook. You can actually run ads on Amazon through Amazon advertising. We might get into that in a future video. But what I really want to stress here to you guys is to start a business, okay? Sure, your 9-to-5 job can make a lot of money, but what does a 9-to-5 job require you to do? It requires you to work. If you do not work, you do not get paid. When you start a business, not only do you have opportunities to, your earning potential is pretty much endless, but at the end of the day, you have opportunities to write things off on your taxes. So, for example, what I am filming on right now, tax write-off because I film videos, right? Any design software, let's say you've put up some different designs, they're doing well, and you decide, hey, I'm going to invest in my business, I'm going to pay for Photoshop. You get to write that off on your taxes, which means you do not pay taxes on that money spent. Okay, because it is a business expense. But finally, you get to leverage your time and leverage their customers, okay? Starting a business is all about leveraging time and leveraging customers in order to provide the most value to the most people. And at the end of the day, that is what it's all about, okay? So just wrapping up this video, print on demand is probably the easiest business you can start. Print on demand is also the cheapest business you can start. It requires $0 out of pocket if you're watching this video because you already have a cell phone or a computer. And it's also one of the best ways to start a business where there's a built-in customer base through these different platforms and marketplaces. So that's going to be all for today, guys. My name is Neil. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments below, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.